You've seen those text animations in other creators' videos and probably wondering, how can I make those? Well, hi guys, my name is Mr. Kane, and in today's video, I've given you 5 viral text animations you can do to level up your content creation game. And all I need from you is a subscription. So please subscribe. So the first thing you do after creating your project is to come to the settings down there, and we are going to change the frame rate to 60 frames per second. So make sure you selected 60 frames per second. When you're done, just hit save. Okay, now the next thing we are going to do is you're coming to come to our effects bar, but before, go to the search icon, that down arrow there, click on it and make sure all folders is checked. Okay, now you can come in and search for Fusion Composition. So make sure you type Fusion Composition in the search box. Okay, so after typing it, you're going to see it show, and you're going to drag it onto your timeline like this. Okay, but we want a duration for our text, so we'll take our playhead in front until we see 1:15. So you can use that, and then you just cut. So hit Ctrl P to cut and delete the rest. Okay, now select your Fusion Composition and bring your playhead to it and come to the Fusion panel. And this is where the magic is going to happen. I know a lot of you don't like the Fusion Composition, but I'm going to make it really easy. Okay, so what I want you to do is to hold Shift and Space bar and type background. After typing background, just select it and then hit add. After hitting add, I want you to connect the media out of the background to the in of the media out. Okay, like that. So when you are done, next thing I want you to do is to select the background and pick any color that you want. So the color of the background that you want. Okay, so in this case, let me just pick green and hit OK. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Shift Space bar again, and then this time I'm going to type text. Okay, I'm going to type text, and that's the text you should select. Don't select any other text, and hit add. So you see it joining the panel, but then it adds media, it adds the merge one. Okay, that's how the Fusion works. I know it's quite confusing to some of you, but this tutorial is going to be extremely simple. Okay, I'm going to make a dedicated video on explaining Fusion, but then just follow along as you can see me do. Okay, now that this is the simple node that you should create, so don't get confused, right? Just look at the connections and connect them. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag our transform onto our timeline, and I'm going to hold Shift and drag our transform in between the text and the merge one, like that, just as you can see me do. Right, now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to select our text. Right, let me just arrange them all. So that's our timeline. Next thing I'm going to do, we are going to select our text, and this is where we type whatever I want to type, right? So let me drag it out. So after selecting your text, go to the text box and type anything you want. In this case, I'll type animation. Okay, type anything you want. So the text that you want to reveal on your screen, just type it. So I've typed animation, and you have the chance to change the color. So you can change the color to any color that you want, right? Any color at all. Let me drag it down so you see what's happening. So I can change it to yellow, to black, but then let me just leave it as white. Okay, when you're done, you just hit OK. You can change the font as well. I often like to use Poppins. So you scroll down, and then I'll just pick my font that I want. So I'll just pick Poppins. Okay, so this is the basic text that I want. Now the next thing I do is I'll come to the transform. So I'll select the transform, just as you can see me select, right? After selecting the transform, I'm going to take my playhead. So just as you can see me go on the timeline, so you drag your playhead and click around the 12th position, right? So just as you can see, and then go to the size and then right click and click animate. So you can see the diamond keyframe show. Your diamond will turn to red, right? Now drag the playhead to 0, right? And then what I'll do is I'll drag the size down. So I'll just take the size to maybe 0.8. So let me just leave it to 0.8. Right, so 0.8. Okay, that's fine. So you can see it creates another keyframe, right? And I'll come forward a bit. So I'll come forward to somewhere 4. Okay, and I'll take my keyframe again to 0.8. Right, you understand when I play it. Okay, I'll take it to 0.8. Right, now if I take my playhead back to 0 and I play, look what will happen. So we'll start small. It will start small. Let me take it back. Okay, so I'll start small and then we'll zoom in. Okay, we'll start small and then zoom in, just as you can see. Beautiful, right? We'll make it smooth, but don't worry. So we'll come to the end, right? We'll come to the end around somewhere 60, right? Around the 60th position. And what we'll do is we'll come and hit keyframe. So you can see it's set to 1, and we'll hit keyframe, right? And we'll go to somewhere around 66, and then we'll take our size to 0.8 again. So 0.8. So we'll create another keyframe by itself, right? And I will bring our playhead back, and if I play everything, you see that it zooms in and zooms out, right? So let me play zoom in, it goes zooms out, zoom in, zooms out, just like that. But I can see it's not smooth, so we'll select our transform and I'll come to spline, right? So after coming to spline, we'll come and make sure that we've checked the transform, right? Let me just shift it this way. So you check your transform, and then you come to that zoom icon to show the keyframes, right? Let me drag up a bit so you see whatever is going. So you can see that it's showing the entire keyframes that are there, right? Now don't select all the keyframes together, else you get confused, right? So what you do is you select the first part and hit S on your keyboard, right? So it smoothens it out, and then you just drag it a bit to make the animation a bit smoother. Okay, then the next thing we'll do is we'll select the other part, hit S again, and then we'll just drag that portion to the beginning, right? So just so you can see, it smoothens everything out, right? When you're done, you just hit the spline, and the spline is gone. We zoom out, right? Now if I take you to the edit page and I play it, look at what will happen. So it zooms in slowly and then zooms out, right? So this is just the basics that we are going to start building our 5 viral animations on, right? So the next thing that I want you to do is to come to the text, right? We want to add a bit of tweak to the text as well. So after coming to the text, I want you to come to shading, right? When you come to shading, what I want you to do is I want you to take your playhead, just click on the 4, and then when you scroll down, look for opacity and hit the keyframe. Scroll down again until you see position. On the Y position, hit a keyframe again, right? The next thing I want you to do is I want you to take your playhead to 0, right? I'll make a separate video on keyframes for you to understand it better, but just follow this, okay? And then after taking it to 0, I'll take my Y position to negative 0.5. So I'll type negative 0.5, right? And it will create its own keyframe. I'll come to the opacity and I'll drag the opacity way to 0, right? So look at what will happen. It would fade out, and once it comes up, it would fade in. Okay, so you don't see anything, it fades in, right? Beautiful. You don't see anything, it fades in and comes up. You don't see anything, fades in and then comes up. So we'll come back to our Fusion page. We want to smoothen it out, so we'll come to the text, just as we did. We'll come to the spline again. After coming to the spline, we'll make sure we've checked off the transform, because we've already done for the size, right? So we'll check off the transform, and we'll just deal with the offset, right? So we'll check off the opacity as well. We'll just deal with the offset. You hit that zoom in, and then you select all the keyframes, right? So you select all the keyframes like this. After selecting the keyframes, you hit what? S on your keyboard, or this time you right click and then you come and look for ease, and then you come and pick out cubic. Okay, so it does its own smoothing for you, so this time you don't have to do anything. Let's come back to our edit page. So if I play it, you can see that it starts slowly and zooms out and zooms. It zooms in and zooms out again. Starts slowly, zooms in, zooms out, right? So this is going to be the basis of our animation. So let me just play it full screen for you to see what's going on, right? So just as you can see, just the basics. We've not done any animation yet. We are going to build on this, right? So after doing this, what we are going to do is we're going to select that Fusion composition, hit Ctrl C on our keyboard, right? So if we hit Ctrl C, it's going to copy it, and you're going to hit Ctrl V 4 times, right? And that will be the basis for all our 5 animations. So you're going to see, you're going to get 5 Fusion compositions. So let's count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that one has been done already. So we'll come to our second text animation, which is the Fusion composition. Select it and come to the Fusion page, right? You're going to come to the Fusion page. So the Fusion page would open again. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to do a different text animation for this, right? Let me shift my screen recording a bit. Let me shift it a bit. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to come to the text, right? After coming to the text, this time we are going to right click on the text box, right, and hit follower, right? I'm going to hit follower. After hitting follower, I'm going to come to modifiers, and after coming to modifiers, we are going to hit the follower 1, right? I'm going to select the follower 1. After selecting that follower 1, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to shading and scroll down this time. When you come to shading this time, let me zoom in so that you see whatever is going on. Scroll down on the shading part until you see the rotation, right? So you're going to rotate it a bit. So after seeing rotation, you open the drop down menu. I'm going to tackle the Y location, the Y rotation first. Sorry. So let's take our playhead to around 8. Okay, so you can leave our player to around 8, that position, and come to our rotation. Let's start with X. So put a keyframe on the X, and what you're going to do is you're going to come to the fourth position or the second position, anywhere you want to go to, and we are going to change the X position, right? So we're going to drag it. So this time I'm just dragging, so you can just copy the value. So it's minus 75.7. You can just leave it there and take it to 0. So if you play it, it sleeps and then it rises, right? So it's like the text is asleep and then it rises. Okay, so let's look at it. It sleeps and then rises. Okay, so that is another text animation, but it's not that smooth, so we need to smoothen it out, right? So to smoothen it out, you already know what we have to do, but before we want to delay the timing. Okay, so select the text again, come to modifiers, this time scroll up and then go to timing, right? Go to timing, exactly, select timing, and after selecting your timing, we want to delay the timing a bit, right? So we'll delay the timing by maybe going to somewhere maybe 5.2. so let's see that one what happened. So it slowly comes up one by one. You can see that the text is coming up one by one, right? The timing is too delayed, so let's bring it back a bit. So maybe somewhere 2.8. let's check 2.8, right? So it comes one by one and it come up, right? So you can leave it like this if you are fine with it, right? Or you just type any value. So let me just leave it to 2.0 and see. So it sleeps. Let me play it. It sleeps. Oh, the delay 2.0. Sorry, there was a clean up there. So I'll just play it, and then it comes up exactly. So you can see that smooth text animation. So we're going to select our text and come to spline, and this time what we are going to do is we are going to select the rotation that we just did, right? So that one alone should be selected, right? The rest should all be checked off. Come and hit the zoom icon so you see your keyframes, select everything and hit S on your keyboard to smoothen it out, right? So you can see we just drag the top of our smoothed keyframe to the very first part, right? So it starts fast and then it ends slowly. That's how I want it to go. So let me come back to the text in the edit page, and if I play it, look at what happened. They all rise up slowly. Very neat. This is clean, Charlie. So let's begin with the first one, the second one, right? So that is the text animations we've done so far. Let me zoom in and play it so that I see what happens. So let's start with the first one. So it zooms in. The second one, it sleeps and rises. Okay, we can close it now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come to our third fusion composition. We're going to start with our third edit, and then we are going to go back to the fusion composition page. Okay, so going to the fusion composition page, let's close the spline. So the next thing we are going to do is, just as you did, click on the text, right? Come to the text animation, right click and hit follower. Okay, after hitting follower, come to modifiers. After coming to modifiers, make sure your follower one is checked. Okay, after coming to the modifiers, come to shading, scroll down again until you see rotation, right? Let me drag and open everything. Scroll down again until you see the rotation. Take your keyframe to maybe somewhere around 10. Okay, scroll down until you see the rotation, and this time I'm going to rotate the Y radar. Okay, so we'll come to them, put a keyframe at the 10th position. We'll take it to somewhere the 4th or 2nd. So let's take it to the 4th. Okay, and then we'll drag our Y down a bit, right? So you see it slant a bit, right? So it slants. So you can just copy the numbers that you are seeing, but I'm just dragging it back. So yeah, you just play around with it, right? So, or let me just make it 90. So yeah, minus 90 is fine. So when I'm done, if I take my player to 0 and I play it, look how it happened, right? That was fast, but then let me do it again. So I play it and then you see it's 10, right? That's beautiful, but we can enhance it. So we scroll up until we see timing, come to timing, and then this time again we want to delay it a bit. But before we delay it, come to the order and we'll change the order to completely random. Okay, so if we change to completely random, come and delay it a bit. So we'll take the delay to maybe somewhere 2. Okay, let's leave it at 2 again, and let's take our player back. So if you play, you can see it randomly brings the text out. This is beautiful. Okay, let's decrease the delay a bit, so maybe somewhere 1.2, and let's see. So it goes and then it comes. That is nice. That is nice, right? Now the next thing we are going to do is, let's come to the edit page. So if we play it, look at what happened. So we play and it randomly displays, right? But I want to smoothen the text out, so we come to spline again, and in the spline we'll hit the zoom icon to zoom our keyframes out. Let me drag out so you see whatever is going on there, right? So we just select the keyframes that we have there. Oh sorry, let me select them all. So I'll select the 2 keyframes, hit S on my keyboard, and you can see that it has been smoothed out, right? I can just drag the first part a bit so it starts slow and then it starts fast and ends slow. That's how I often want it. Come to my edit page, and if I play it, look what will happen. Exactly, this is clean. So let's begin from our first text. So zoom out, zoom, come down, come up. The animations are clean, right? I'm really sorry if the tutorial is going really fast, but I don't want to delay your time, right? I don't want to waste your time, so you can just slow it down and then try it out yourself, right? Come back to Fusion Composition. We have selected a fourth one, so I come to do our fourth animation. Let's close the spline, right? Let me select the text. Let me drag down. So it's what we are doing. Let me drag down, and then I'll come. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because there are awesome tutorials coming to your feed. Okay, come to modifiers, hit on follower, right? And after hitting on follower, I want you to go up to the modifiers again, and then this time you come to the order, and we'll leave our order from left to right, and we'll set our delay a bit. So set our delay to somewhere maybe 3.2.8 or 3. Let's leave it 3.2, and let's see. So if we play it, look what will happen. It delays, right? It delays and then counts from left to right. So just as you can see. So what we'll do is we'll come to our shading, and after coming to our shading, we'll scroll down, and then we'll come and hit a keyframe on our Y, right? So if we hit a keyframe on our Y, look what will happen. After hitting a keyframe on our Y, you can see that there's a keyframe on the displacement, right? So we'll hit our second follower, scroll down, and then we'll make sure we take our playhead to 0. So after taking it to 0, we hit a keyframe. We change the Y value. There's a keyframe already applied, so change the Y value to -0.3, right? So we change to somewhere -0.3. If you play, look what will happen. You can see that the text slowly come up one by one, right? The text slowly come up one by one. They follow one by one in that order, right? This is clean. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to smoothen it out. So we'll come to the spline, we'll scroll up a bit, just as we always do. You make sure the thing that you just keyframed is selected. Come to the zoom to see your keyframes, select your 2 keyframes and hit S on your keyboard, and then drag it back, right, like that a bit, so it smoothens everything out. Now let me go back to the edit page and then play it again. So if I go back and I play it, look at what will happen. So they all come up one by one, the text all come up one by one, right? And then it's smooth, it's very smooth, right? Now exactly, that's very smooth. So let's go to our final text animation. So select the Fusion Composition, come to the Fusion page. After coming, let's close the spline. After coming to the Fusion page, let's drag it down a bit. After coming to the Fusion page, we are going to select text. After selecting text, the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to come into our Fusion, just as you always do. You right click and then select follower. Okay, you select follower. After selecting follower, I come to shading, scroll down until you see rotation. Click on the rotation. This time I'm coming to rotate the Z. Okay, so take your playhead to maybe somewhere 8, and then put a keyframe there. After putting a keyframe, send your playhead to somewhere 3, and then send the Z value a bit, right? So you can see that this time it's tilted, it's slanted a bit, right? So we are going to come up and we are going to come to the let me take our player and play so that you see what's happening before. So if I play it, you see how it turns and then comes up, it slants and then comes up. So I'm going to come to our modifiers. I'm going to come to the timing. So in the timing area, I'm going to delay it a bit to somewhere maybe 5 is too much. Let's leave it somewhere. Let me just leave it 2 or something. Okay, let's leave it 5.0 and then see what will happen. So let's just play it. Oh, sorry, it closed. Let me do it again. So 5. So let's play it and see how it turns out. So if we play it, okay, this is fine. So if we take it and then we play it, you can see it's slanting and then coming up again. It's slanting and it comes up. So we'll come to the order, and in the order we are going to change it. I'm going to change our order from right to left, or from left to right. Anyhow you want it, I'll change it from right to left, and change our delay type to between first and last character. So look at what happens. So you can see this is clean, right? So if we play it, you can see that this is very clean, right? make sure you subscribe. So come to our text, come to our spline, and then we come and smoothen it out. So just as we always do, select your zoom to zoom all your keyframes. Select all your keyframes, right? Drag your mouse to hover around the keyframes. Oh, you just selected one. Let's select everything. So you select everything and then hit S. So when you hit S, it selects everything, and we are just going to drag the top up like that, just as we are always doing. So you can take your time and then watch the video, right? I didn't want it to be long, that's why I'm making the tutorial really fast, right? After you're done, come to the edit page, and we are done with our 5 text animations. But let me play this one. So if I play it, you see how it comes. That was fast. If I play it, it turns and then it comes up, right? So if I take my playhead back and then let me open everything and then I play, you can see all our text animations display. Now let me show you how to save it real quick. So after you're done, let me zoom out. So to save it, you're just going to come to the media pool, and in the media pool, you're just going to make sure you've selected power bins. Okay, so make sure you selected power bins. If you can't see the power bins, you come to the 3 dots and show power bins, right? So select the master of the power bins and then just copy everything you've done and then drag it into the power bin. So anytime you want to use it, it's like a preset, you just drag and drop onto your timeline. Thanks for watching. Bye.